Reagan, and I'm coming at you from my first sit-down video in my new apartment. Hopefully this angle isn't horrible, I'm still working with it. I literally moved a plant over here to try to fill this weird empty space, but you know, things are happening. So today I'm actually filming a bit of a doozy video, a bit of a controversial video, if you will, and that is books I used to love, but now I hate. Now understand that it's not that I necessarily hate all these books. There's a few different reasons why I perhaps fell out of love with these books, but Girlfriend needed a title, and books I used to love and now I don't like so much, or I find problematic, or I no longer like, felt a little too long, so I decided to use a dramatic umbrella term, if you will. I also feel like this video could have the alternate title of books Reagan used to like but then grew up and realized that they had a lot of problematic relationship elements that she was too naive to see when she was 18. Because that's also a huge element of this video. Like, a lot of those books really fit underneath that. But again, too long of a title. As usual, just because I perhaps don't like this book anymore or just don't like it in general does not mean you are not allowed to like it. This is just my opinion, and my opinion is not, you know, the word that everyone must follow by. But I do like to make videos like this, so without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump right in. I feel like I just need to start with the one that everyone is expecting me to say, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to this, and that is Twilight. Now see, Twilight I recognize is very fundamental in my reading growth when I was a preteen and teenager, but that does not mean I don't recognize that it is a crappy book. Especially as I've gotten older, I really began to examine how horrible the relationship between Bella and Edward was, and also reading that as an impressionable teen was probably not the best because it really did give me some wonky perspectives of how boys should treat girls when they like each other. Because let's be real, not the best example. I did love this book, I have a lot of respect for this book in weird ways in terms of how it introduced me to YA, but to say that I think this book is good, no. I think this book is not good, and I don't think I would ever read this book again, unless you think it might be funny for me to read this book as a 20-something-year-old and review it. I might do that. Let me know what you think. What I'm going to talk about might be a surprise, and is actually the book that really inspired this video, and that is The Bronze Horseman by Paulina Simons. Now, I've been talking about this book on my channel a lot throughout the years. I read this book when I was 18, I was a freshman in college, and I loved it. It was a Russian historical fiction romance that I was like, yeah, this is so good and engrossing. At the time of reading it, when I was 18, I thought there was some problematic tropey elements, but I was like, that's not a huge part of the book. It's really not that bad, you know, in my mind. But then, recently, Witty Novels posted a crap ton of screenshots from this book, and oh my god, how did 18-year-old Reagan not realize how horrible the relationship in that book was? That book has a lot of super problematic relationship elements to it that I could literally make a whole video talking about it. I mean, you know, pure maiden tropes, really abusive relationship tropes, so many issues, and I was like, I was so naive, how did I not see this? But anyway, one grows, one gains perspective, and a little, hopefully, an expanded worldview, and I realized this book was not the relationship footprint one should follow and should, you know, try to emulate as an 18-year-old. That is why this book has made my list. I do really like the war story element to this book. I thought that was well done, but that does not save this romance book from now getting a poor rating from me because, my god, it's got issues. In the same vein that Reagan realizes the relationship is problematic as she's gotten older, we have Poison Princess by Kresley Cole. This, I don't want to say, is as bad as the first two that I've said, but that doesn't mean the main love interest in this book is not a complete jerk. He's just so mean to our main character that it's ridiculous. No one should stand by or allow that type of behavior to happen. A man or a woman should never treat someone that they're interested in this type of intense, just rudeness in a way that's so hot and cold and confusing and emotionally abusive. It ain't okay, and we should not romanticize it in YA. Next up is one that I just read a really long time ago, and I just think it's not very good anymore, and that is Maximum Ride by James Patterson. I loved this series when I was like 12. I thought it was so good. It was just like everything I thought I wanted. But even as a 12-year-old, it got a little funky for me. I think we got to the 5th book, and as a 12-year-old, I was like, you know, James Patterson, there seems to be some large plot holes in this story. I don't really feel like you're expanding your world in a logical fashion. And 12-year-old Reagan was right to say that this story is not good, I think is an understatement. I think the first 3 books had promise with James Patterson, but you can clearly see that this story started to expand in ways purely because they wanted to push out more books and not actually make a well-rounded story at all. I mean, like, this story is like the opposite of Percy Jackson in success in expanding the universe, to say it simply. Another one we have here is Matched by Condie. This was my post-Twilight book of choice, people. You know what I mean? That gray area of time where you've read maybe the first 3 Twilight books and you're waiting endlessly for that 4th one to be released, and there's this whole new swath of YA romance, paranormal, fantasy to choose from because it became very popular. Now all of a sudden we have so many options. Matched was that for me, amongst a few other ones. But Matched, my god, I just don't think I could even begin to love that book as much as I did when I was 14 as I would now. In fact, I just know I probably would not like that book at all. So I feel like it's just safe to leave that one in my past. And the last one I'm going to talk about is going to be very controversial. Probably that's why I kept it to the end, and that is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I really enjoy Stephanie Perkins books. I've read all of them. And I really think they're a lot of fun. I think she's a great contemporary writer, and I'm really looking forward to her newest release, but there is an element to Anne of the French Kiss that I just don't like. And again, I just don't think it's a good thing to use as a plot device, especially in YA novels. I really think it puts forward the wrong perspective of how relationships should be built. And that is the element of cheating. Cheating is what drives this relationship and the plot forward within Anne and the French Kiss, and I just don't think that's good. And I don't think that should be, again, romanticized as a way to be like, well, but he loves her. You know, that's very disrespectful to the significant other, and it also doesn't make it okay to cheat on your significant other if they're cheating. That's just a whole new area of screwed up. Like, we should not be describing first-time relationships to people with an aspect of cheating to be like, yeah, it's okay if you love them. Like, no, cheating is disrespectful. You should really pursue relationships in a healthy and normal way. So that's what bothers me about that book. Alright guys, that is my books I used to love but now I dislike or hate / hate. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below some books you used to love but have kind of changed your mind about them as you've maybe moved on from that genre or gotten a little older or whatever. I would love to know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will see you soon with another one soon. Goodbye!